Huh?
Hey, I heard Bear died. What happened? Tell us the story. Well, what's up guys? This is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and we're trying to get a little bit of work done, but the rain just is not wanting to cooperate today. So we've got a few extra things completed on the barn to shop conversion here. And the big project that I need to get done today, I just don't think the rain's gonna allow, is I have to reframe my doorway where that sliding barn door is. So we're gonna do away with the sliding barn door and put like a garage door, a slide up garage door. But I'm gonna keep part of the sliding door anyways, whatever. It's kind of hard to explain. We'll get to that later. But in order to be able to put a garage door on here, I have to lower the header. So I have to reframe the top and then add a little sheet iron. We're gonna work on reframing today if we can stay out of the rain. Had to go over to, Cross Timbers Bison and commandeer my welder back. So we can do that. Look, lights. Guess what? We also have water in here now. So I had a water hydrant out in front of the barn. So we came in with some PEX pipe. And this one will actually come into what will later on be a fish cleaning station. A nice sink under the window. Notice we didn't put a drain in the floor. Some people's kids just aren't real smart, and I didn't think about that in time. So we'll after we get our spray foam insulation in, we'll just bore a hole and run that gray water out on the ground. So the water comes in, going inside that bottom C-purlin, all the way to the back corner. And let me show you what that's for. And while I'm at it, might as well flip that switch on, because we have two lights on the back of the barn. They're on photo cells, so they only stay on for a little while during the daytime. But now we have an actual water source on the barn. And I know this isn't pretty. And you remember my goat, Jerkface? Yeah, that's where he tore up the barn a little bit. Probably thinking I should have made that just a little bit higher so the goats don't mess with it. We'll see. We may have to build something around it to protect it. But we couldn't just put the faucet on one, out here in the middle of the wall like I really wanted to, because we want a frost-free draining hydrant faucet. And in order for that to work properly and not freeze, it comes all the way back into the wall to shut off. It actually shuts off back here. So that's what we had to do. But this will all get spray foamed and will be insulated well. Oh my goodness, I don't know if it comes through on camera or not, but I actually literally feel like I just got out of a swimming pool. I'm not getting rained on anymore, but the humidity out here is insane. I'm like literally head to toe drenched, except about that far above my shoes is dry. Everything else is soaked. But as you can see, we got the cross beam in the header, put a support post in there in the middle, and then I welded a C-purlin onto that so that it would match up with the rest of the sheet iron when we get ready to hang that. It's gonna be a little bit tricky. So let me explain what I'm doing. I'm gonna leave the sliding door and take all the metal off except right at the bottom. That way I can slide that over and be able to have most of the doorway open, but the goats can't get in the barn. So I wanna leave the sliding door, and I've gotta put more sheet iron up top, but we've got that track and all that stuff, so I've gotta take all that loose and then slide more sheet iron up in there, screw it all back down, put the track back on, trim it out. It'll work. It's not gonna be perfect, but we'll figure it out. But I think it's break time. I just texted my overhead door guy that's gonna be installing the garage door for me, and he said it'd probably be next week before he could get me scheduled in. I'm actually filming this on Wednesday, and so it's sometime next week, so I can't really do everything I wanna do with the sliding door just yet. The problem with the sliding door is it's too long, it's too tall, so I gotta trim the bottom so it's up to the concrete level instead of the old dirt floor level, and a few other things. I'll take all the sheet iron off and do some reworking on that, but whew, maybe later, not right now. What are you working on?
Not crying.
Not crying? We're having tomatoes and onions for lunch?
No.
What are you working on?
Tomato basil soup for supper.
Ooh. Hey, what store did you get those tomatoes at?
Homestead, Homestead.
Oh, homegrown.
Yep.
You like them like that?
I do.
Maybe you should help grow them.
No.
Well, now the sun's out, the rain's gone for the day, the humidity is still insane. I actually went in and took a shower. I mean, I took my shirt off and could literally wring the sweat out. My wife was impressed. Not really. So on to the topic of Bear. What happened to Bear? Where's Bear? I bet I've had no less than 50 messages in the last couple weeks saying, where's Bear? What happened to Bear? I had a couple people send me messages on like Instagram and Facebook that said, hey, I heard Bear died. What happened? Tell us a story.
And over there.
So, I don't know where that came from. Why do you guys think Bear died? Why do you think something happened to Bear? So here's the thing. We've got Bear, our Anatolian cross with whatever random neighbor dog. You guys know Bear. He's always in a lot of videos. But that's usually when we're doing something with the livestock or the animals. Sometimes he'll go down the creek with us. Typically, Bear don't like to go to the creek. But we like to turn the goats out so they can graze other places than just right here in their normal pasture this time of year. Well, Bear usually goes off with them. So when we go outside to film a video, Bear's not with us. So there's Bear. Everybody's been worried about Bear because they haven't seen him.
My old baby dog.
He just stays right here with the goats, huh? Doing his job. That's what he's supposed to do. So we might as well let them out so they can graze. But before we open the gate to let these guys out to graze, I figure we might as well feed the other animals, because if I open their gate first, it gets ugly. They don't want to leave. They think I'm feeding them. And if you've ever owned a goat and tried to feed them, it can be a difficult process, because no matter how much you feed a goat, they will act like they are all starving to death, and they will trample you and try to knock you down to get the feed bucket, and they may not even be hungry sometimes. Hey Steve, leave the camera on.
He's like, what is this? She's watching the footage. Why?
Tell you what, Whopper's growing fast.
Yeah, he
That
is.
guy's gotten big.
He's starting to get a saggy neck part.
Tina, get out of the water bowl. Rufus, what's the deal, boy? Huh? What's the deal? Oh, surprise, surprise. Stomped all the water out, spilt the water. Yeah, well, let's get the water hose and fill it back up again. Look at, look at, look at. Rufus, knock it off. Good boy. Don't step in the water. And while we're here, I know most of you have probably seen this in the background by now, so I wanted to show this real quick. So this is a goat working chute, or a sheep and goat working chute. It's a squeeze chute that was sent to us by Lakeland Farm and Ranch Direct. Now they're not paying us, it's not sponsored or anything like that. They just wanted to send us one of their chutes to try out on our goats because they knew we obviously just always done it by hand. So animal goes in this way. It's got pads in there for small goats, and then you squeeze it down, and it's got a head gate on this end, so you can work. You can give them any kind of medications, wormers, and whatever you need to do on their head. But let me show you something else that's really cool. So, you know, with goats, you have to trim their feet every once in a while. Once you get a goat locked in here, this thing will spin around, and you can trim their feet. You can rotate it either direction. Lay the goat over on its side, lower the pedestal. So once you get it rotated over onto its side, you can lower the pedestal that they're actually standing on, trim their feet, do whatever you need to do down here. You're not getting stepped on, kicked, or stomped, or anything like that. Stand them back up. And then you just let the goat out, and they run out the front. So I'm pretty excited to get to try that out. They also sent us some aluminum panels to set up a little working pen with the chute. I do know that Kevin from Hidden Heights Farm also got the same chute this year, and I've never had a goat working chute. I always just caught them, flipped them over, did whatever I need to do. It's just a little bit of a rough experience, and it's something that, you know, some people just aren't able to do. So we appreciate Lakeland Farm and Ranch Direct for sending that to us. I'll leave a link in the description box. Like I said, it's not sponsored, they're not paying us, but we are going to test it out really soon. All right, goats, y'all want out? Come on, Barry, you can be first. Come on out, buddy. Come on, goats. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, goats. There's Bear. What's up, buddy? Not enough attention? You hadn't got any camera time lately, have you? Huh. You're still here though, aren't you? And there he goes with the goats. Doing what he's supposed to do. All right. Which one of you is gonna let me put you in a bucket to get a weight? Because you guys are growing. You're getting big. Hey, quit sneaking up behind me. Don't we try to be sneaky? It's amazing how fast these pigs grow. I mean, they're not just giant yet. We've still got a few months to go, but they have grown so much. Sister's over there eating. Y'all better go eat. Don't let her eat alone.
What are you doing all wet? Are you gonna go get your swimming trunks on?
Bella's already been to the creek.
How?
I guess she was hot and she went down there by herself. So I'm assuming you and Jacoby want to go to the creek, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Are you?
Well, I'm almost done with my chores.
Okay. Well, are you gonna get on your own swimming suit?
Yeah. Well, work's done for the day. I may work on the barn a little bit more this evening, but it's too hot and I don't have to do it right now. We can wait until in the morning when it's cool again. And chores are all done. The pigs are growing like crazy. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with Bear. Bear hasn't disappeared. Bear didn't die. Bear is 100% a-okay. Just
100% just fine.
Just doing his job.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I've had so many messages about Bear. But Houston and Jacoby have decided they want to go to the creek, which I can't blame them because I'm sweating too and it's hot out here.
I've been sweating all day. I took a shower, but I just can't stand going to the creek after I get sweaty because I'm like, I don't want to take a shower.
I like to go to the creek after I get sweaty. That's usually when I prefer to go, Houston. So I've got one more thing I want to show you guys before we get off of here, and that is Houston and Jacoby went and got the mail a little while ago, and we had a package show up that I was totally unsuspecting, had no idea about. But we got 2 knives
that were homemade
in the mail from Bo over at the Moorhead Homestead. He lives up like right next to Dutch. Actually, they're neighbors. They live just a couple miles apart. So if you follow Keeping It Dutch, you may know Bo from the Moorhead Homestead. You can look them up on YouTube. But Bo made these for us, Houston. He said one's for Daniel and one's for Houston. Now, I'm not so sure that I want to be giving Houston one of these knives, but these are, he made the knife and the Kydex sheath. But look at that. I'm fairly certain that's made out of an old file. I'm not a knife maker, so I could be totally wrong, but pretty awesome little knife right there. And then this one's more of a skinning knife. Well, why don't you let me do that? I've seen you handle knives before, but look at that. Isn't that pretty cool? I am not a knife maker, don't know the first thing about making knives, but I've got several friends that do, and these are really cool knives. I mean, something that Bo took, you know, a lot of time out of his day to make for us. I know these things it's not a fast process. There's a lot of work goes into making these, so huge thank you to Bo over at the Moorhead Homestead. We'll put those to good use probably this hunting season for sure, because I'm gonna say Houston's probably gonna be
shooting the buck this year.
His first deer this year.
I'm excited.
So anyways, we're gonna go to the creek and have a little cool down. I wouldn't call it a party. We're gonna go cool off at the creek. So guys, I'll let Houston wrap this up. He hasn't talked the whole video.
So guys, if you haven't already, go subscribe, ring the notification bell, and like this video. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it. And as always, we'll see you on the next video. Peace.